everyone, and welcome to Metal Nights with the Metal Coach. And tonight I'm taking you back to 1985 with one of the best of the 80s, Dokken's brilliant album, Under Lock and Key. We're going to talk about the history, we're talking about the accolades, we're talking about how people felt about the album, and then we're going to talk about my favorite tracks that I have to listen to every time I listen to this album, which I do at least twice, maybe 3 times a month. It is just that good. It brings back a lot of memories, and it is incredible. All right, guys, it's 1985. Heavy metal is reigning supreme throughout the United States. It is the decade of decadence and debauchery, with so many bands out there on the Southern California metal scene. One band will rise to the top, in my opinion, and that is Dokken. The Southern California metal scene was chock full of teased hair, makeup, and spandex, and they're one of the bands that, to me, just shined so bright it was hard to ignore what they were doing. Considered by most to be one of the best bands to come out of the LA metal scene, most bands in the Southern California metal scene were also working very hard to stand out against their contemporaries and stand out by, more makeup, higher the hair, more spandex, almost looking more like women than men. However, even though Dokken would take some of those concepts and put it into their look, they were a little bit older when they got signed, so they were trying to keep that rough around the edge image, trying to look more metal than hair metal. And what really separated Dokken from their counterparts, in my opinion, is the excellent musicianship of guitarist George Lynch, who by some are considered to be one of the best guitarists ever. I put him in my top 5. Of course, Eddie Van Halen is number 1 in my opinion of all time. And he influenced a generation of guitar players just like Eddie did. One of the best of all time, and still one of my favorites today. Under Lock and Key was released on November 22nd, 1985 through Elektra Records. It was produced by Neil Kernon and Michael Wagner. It will be the band's 3rd studio album and one of their most successful. The album reached number 32 on the U.S. Billboard 200 and remained on the charts for 67 straight weeks. That is pretty impressive with all the great music coming out in 1985. They'd had 2 really big singles that charted off this album. You had The Hunter and In My Dreams, both reaching number 25 and 24 on the Billboard's mainstream rock charts. And then when In My Dreams at number 77 on the Billboard Hot 100. And Under Lock and Key was certified gold on March 4th, 1986, and went platinum on April 14th, 1987. The album was released to mostly positive reviews. One reviewer said of Under Lock and Key, called it possibly Dokken's most complete album, with a little something for every type of fan. You had the fist-pumping headbangers, extraordinary bittersweet mid-pace rockers, Unchain the Night and The Hunter, and you had the saccharine ballads. He also said that this is probably one of the best introductions for Dokken listeners, but notes that heavy metal purists would likely prefer the band's 1984 album Tooth and Nail. On the other hand, you had some detractors from the album that said they considered Under Lock and Key too weighted toward like a Def Leppard fat open formula rock music, resulting in a bit subdued and predictable in comparison to its predecessor. This is the album that introduced me to Dokken. I remember the day I first heard it. Me and my buddy were sitting in his house, and all of a sudden I hear this just crazy guitar sound coming out of his sister's bedroom. And we ran in there immediately and said, "Who are you listening to?" And she said it was Dokken, and it was their new album, Under Lock and Key. And man, I was hooked. Of course, I had to go get it the next day. And then, of course, you started having Metal Shop coming on and releasing the video to In My Dreams. And I was just, oh man, I was speechless after hearing it for the first time and seeing the videos. This also is the album that introduced me to the great George Lynch, in my opinion, one of the top 5 guitarists of all times. This album, in my opinion, is the one that put them in the upper echelon of 80s hair and metal bands. I consider them a little bit more metal than hair, in my opinion. The Under Lock and Key album features the classic Dokken lineup of Don Dokken on vocals, George Lynch on guitars, Jeff Pilson on bass and backing vocals, then you had Wild Mick Brown on drums and backing vocals as well. The album sound is characterized by Lynch's guitar work, with blends heavy riffs and melodic solos, with Don Dokken's soaring vocals and catchy hooks. Lyrically, the album deals with themes of love, heartbreak, and personal struggles, and with Don Dokken's emotional vocals conveying a sense of passion and intensity throughout. The album's production is also noteworthy, with a polished sound that showcases the band's musicianship and songwriting abilities. Under Lock and Key is a classic heavy metal album that remains a fan favorite to this day. It captures the band at the peak of their powers, delivering powerful and memorable songs that showcase their unique sound and style. I usually listen to this album at least twice a week, maybe even more. I just love the album. When I put this album on, there are certain songs that are my go-to songs every single time. I just have to listen to these. And tell you, if you listen to these songs too, you will love Dokken just as much as I do. Under Lock and Key kicks off with an absolute brilliant track called Unchain the Night. This up-tempo gem starts with a cool opening acoustic riff, and then just kicks it into high gear with a classic Lynch riff. Don's vocals are incredible and strong. His vocals soar and are melodic. The drumming and bass playing are just thick and beefy. The chorus is hooky and melodic, with Pilson and Brown filling in the gaps with awesome harmonies that blend so well with Don Dokken's voice. Lynch's solo is killer, with several runs up and down the fretboard, and he just totally shreds. So get your air guitars out and let's check this one out. The next song on my top songs from Under Lock and Key that I have to listen to every time is the song The Hunter. What a brilliant song. Great up-tempo gem. Just killer vocals from Don Dokken on this song. This song has a great hooky chorus that'll get you singing, get you moving around. Lynch is amazing all through the song, and he has this really cool arpeggiation during the bridge, and he has this cool little pinch harmonics that he uses throughout, and then the tremolo action that he uses throughout with little dives all the way through are just amazing. And then, of course, you get the solo, which is a classic Lynch solo and shows off why he is one of the greatest of all time. You have melody and harmonies throughout. He just rips it up throughout this song. So throw up your rock fist, and let's check this one out. The number 3 song on that I have to listen to, which is probably one of my favorites from Under Lock and Key, is the song In My Dreams. Man, what a song. Just has an amazing, killer, classic George Lynch riff that starts it out, and you have this little cool chug during the verse, and man, it is incredible. I personally think this is Don Dokken's greatest vocal performance on the album. He shows why he was one of the best frontmen of the decade. His intonation and inflection on this song are top notch. He just is soaring perfection, in my opinion. The chorus on this song is amazing, and it gets you singing and gets you moving around, throwing it up your hands, throwing up your rock fist, man, whatever, just get you going. Very hooky with a cool vocal harmonies with Don Dokken, Jeff Pilson, and Wild Mick Brown. Now let's talk about that solo. The solo is one of the greatest of the genre. Has a lot of attitude, a lot of harmony, has hammer-ons, it has pull-offs, it has bends. You name it, it's got it. So everything a guitar player looks for when he's listening to a solo, it is here. George Lynch is a freaking beast. What a absolute tremendous guitar player, and a wonderful, wonderful solo on this song. Starts out very melodic, and then he just goes all Lynch on us with a shred fest. I mean, my goodness, fast paced, just, oh man, I get speechless when I'm listening to In My Dreams. I absolutely love the bass playing and drumming from the rhythm section of Pilson and Brown on this song. They really bring it on this track. I really love the heavy feel it gives it. So let's get those air guitars out again and let's check this one out. I think you're going to like it. Favorite song that I have to listen to on Under Lock and Key is one of the heaviest songs on the album. It's called Lightning Strikes Again. Don's vocals just freaking soar on this killer track. This song has attitude, and it'll make you want to headbang and be a little bit defiant. Cool, memorable hook in the chorus, and great vocal harmonies throughout. Killer double bass drum thing that Mick Brown's got going on throughout it as well. Just makes this song even more heavy and has a heavy end feeling to it. And then Lynch, of course, gives you an absolute shred fest. What can I say? It's George Lynch. Brilliant all the way through. And then Don ends the song with this really cool, amazing, soaring Don Dokken screams that we've come to know and love. Hey guys, crank this one up. Let's do a little headbanging and take a listen. Okay guys, the next song that I have to listen to when I am listening to Under Lock and Key is the radio-friendly and video hit It's Not Love. Just a killer, kick-ass hair metal song. Really cool, catchy chorus that'll get you moving. The vocal harmonies are on point. Love the cool call and response part during the chorus that is just killer. Pilson's bass playing gives it a bit of toughness and edge, but still keeps it with that radio-friendly sound. Lynch solo is not one of his greatest, but it fits the melody and the vibe of the song. He did not have to do anything crazy to make this one work. So let's go back to the MTV days and let's crank it up while we check it out. Baby, why did you make me to go and leave me so lonely? Why, baby, why did you have to hold on? You know it's not love anymore. Hey guys, the next song that I just absolutely love on Under Lock and Key is this really cool power ballad called Jaded Heart. Love the pacing on this song, just really cool. I love how it builds and kind of gets heavy and then it slows back down and gets heavy again. Just amazing, and it really shows that Dokken is very diverse in what they can do with their songs. This song is slow and acoustic to classic hair metal goodness that rocks, then wash and repeat, just like I said earlier. Just slick and polished and just kick ass. Don's vocals are amazing, and he's at a very high register when he's singing in this song. The chorus is hooky and will stick in your head. You'll be singing it all day long. I love the Lynch solo that he puts together on this one. It's just so smooth and melodic that it fits perfectly. So get your lighters out and sway to this one as we check it out. I found you too late. The last song that I just have to listen to when I listen to Dokken's Under Lock and Key is the kick-ass mid-up-tempo gem about freedom and not getting into a nuclear war. Hey, it was 1985. It was the middle of Cold War. What do you expect? This song is called Will the Sun Rise. Vocal harmonies on this one are killer and inspiring. The chorus is hooky as can be and will have you trying to harmonize with Don and the boys. Lynch does his thing all over the solo, of course, and he's just incredible. So let's get your flags out, show some patriotism, wave it around, and rock out to this one. Okay, guys? Check it out.
Will the sun rise when it's over? Will the sun rise? Will there be a sky? Will the sun rise another day?
Okay, guys, there you have it. Dokken's Under Lock and Key from 1985. In my opinion, this is a great place for somebody that is just getting into 80s metal or into hard rock in general. If you've never heard this band, this is a great place to start your journey. They are one of the genre's greats, and you will not be disappointed. If you love hooks, melodies, and harmonies, you'll absolutely love this killer album. This is also a must-have for every fan of George Lynch. And Under Lock and Key is a prime example of great hair metal that scrapes the surface of heavy metal of the 80s. So what do you guys think? Is this Dokken album, Under Lock and Key, the best for the band? Or is Back for the Attack better? Leave a comment in the comments section and let's talk about this great album. Also, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate everything. If you enjoy my content, please like and smash that subscribe button to get future content before you leave. And don't forget to check out my previous episodes and then give them a like as well. Come back next week to the channel as I discuss Sammy Hagar's first album with Van Halen, The Great 5150. As always, guys, keep it fun, keep it metal, crank up something loud, and I'll see you guys really soon.